you can go. You go to the.
I might use the other toilet.
Go to the one
I
out
don't know
there.
why your toilet has decided to shit itself.
Well, I'll tell you about that, and I'll tell you about the car.
Yeah,
I'll give the audience an update. Okay, so the toilet over there is just a fucking stupid. For some reason, I went in one day and the toilet started flooding. Not the toilet bowl, but like at the bottom where it connects to the ground, it was flooding. There was like water all over the floor in the bathroom. And I was like, what the hell is this? I don't want to have to deal with this. And I washed it all down the drain. And then when I came back the next time, it was flooded again. We have a problem here. I called the landlord. They called the plumber. The plumber came out. And the toilets had to be turned off for the last couple of days. Hopefully he's going to come and fix it soon. And if it does, then lo and behold, everything will be back to normal. Thank goodness. But I have this issue with my car at the moment, which I discussed last week. I was in a very low speed collision on the freeway on my way back from work last week. No, it wasn't even last week at this point. It was last episode, which was like 3 weeks ago. They have been so difficult to deal with, this insurance company. I cannot tell you the amount of frustration that I have had to deal with just waiting to hear what is going to happen, whether it's going to be written off or repaired. First, they told me it was going to go to a place that's close to where I live. And then a week later, they told me, actually, there were no available spots at that place. So we didn't send it. It's just been sitting in the tow yard this whole week. No one's even looked at it. I thought they were looking at it and I was waiting to hear back what the news was going to be. No one had even touched it. So then they say, okay, now we're going to send it to somewhere further away. And it's not going to be looked at until Thursday. Now, this was last week. It got looked at on Thursday. And the news, the update to the story is that the mechanics who looked at it believe that it is better to write it off. So the mechanics have deemed it write-offable.
It's not easy.
No. The
Shit, really?
The insurance has not committed to writing it off yet. They are going to send out an assessor to go and have a look at the car, see what they think, see if they think it's worth salvaging or just paying me out. I have a bit of a feeling they're going to write it off, and
So what are you
yeah, it's going to have to be goodbye.
Or?
Well, I probably. I mean, I have to. I need a car. You know, I can't go without a car.
I mean, you can get a good car for...
Well, luckily they're going to pay me
it's
out
good,
the value of the car. So whatever they pay me out, I can use to buy a new car. So we'll see.
What you need is
whatever.
a 4x4 like mine, and
Oh, God.
if someone fucking... If you would have done that in my car...
Yeah,
I
well...
would have absolutely crushed it. It must have been
Exactly.
fine.
If
a massive bull bar on it.
Yeah, if your car had been in my car situation, there'd be no problem here. You know,
Yeah.
you could have driven it home, to be honest.
Yeah, that sucks. That's really bad.
Yeah, so I don't have an estimate of how much they'll give me. I'm hoping they'll give me like 6-ish grand. That's kind of my hope. But
That's crazy.
We'll
just from
see.
one little crash like that.
yeah, I mean, it's
That must have really fucked up your engine somehow.
I don't know. I tried to swerve and I don't know if I showed the photos, but
Yeah, you
it
did.
was only slightly on the side. So it's such a shame that like such a small ding can just make the car unfixable. But I guess if it fucked up any important components, then what are you going to do?
I think, I mean, it's a peace and love. I think those cars are made quite... And by the way, this is a guy who's still paying his car off till next year for the last fucking not 5 years, like last 3 years.
Yeah.
By the time I paid my car off, I think I would have been paying off like 3-4 years. So this is not saying you should do what I've done, but I do think cars like that are like relatively cheaper, that are like $6,000, normally are just quite like disposable. If you do have a crash, they're pretty much fucked.
Yeah, and my car like has always been small and flimsy, and I knew it would never last a big hit.
That's sad
or
though,
anything,
man.
you
We
know,
had some
so-
good times in that car.
I know, and you know what? This is gonna sound so silly, but I had literally just found a great name for that car. I had decided.
No.
I know, for all this time, I
Mitch
never
always says don't name
had-
the car because that's when you crash it.
Oh my god!
Did you
Does
actually
he
give it a
really
name?
say that?
Yeah, because I remember when I named my car Friday.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I knew you always had a name for your car, so.
Yeah, but he always, I never listened to him about that. He's like, don't name it because when you name it.
No,
you
but I'm
crash it.
saying I knew you always had a name for your car. I never sort of picked one because
What did you call
nothing
it?
ever
Louis?
grabbed me. No, I just took one look at the car. My car was a small blue Holden Barina, and
Hey, man, there's still hope. It might still be.
maybe. And I had just decided that I was gonna call it Sonic because it looks like the ball that Sonic curls up in when he runs. And I was like so proud of that name because when I was a kid, I used to love Sonic. I loved the TV show. I loved the games. I was like a big Sonic head. And I was so happy that I finally found a name that I felt like
Was that it? Was that
perfect for the car. And then like a week later,
the straw that broke the camel's back?
I think it probably was, yeah.
Yeah, Mitch always said that. Don't name it. And I'm so superstitious, but that's the one. I shouldn't say this now because maybe something's gonna happen. But
Well, I've just proved Mitch's theory, so...
were you listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival? You know that band that you not heard that meme on the H3 podcast, but Zach said whenever he listens to Creedence Clearwater Revival,
Ah.
because he had a car crash, and it's like everything bad happens. We listen to like Bad Moon Horizon or anything like that, or Fortunate
Yeah.
Son. No, you're
yeah,
on
I
the
know
phone.
Fortunate Son. I know Fortunate Son.
Okay,
yeah,
you're on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, but you could have been listening to that, and that's why you crashed. That's what he says in the podcast. Is like that band is like cursed whenever he listens to it. Like something bad happens.
Maybe it's on the radio or something. I don't know.
You're on the phone though.
Yeah, but my phone, the
Oh,
radio...
maybe when it was still obviously the radio still plays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the radio could have foreshadowed it.
Cleedence, is it Cleedence Clearwater Revival?
Well, I wasn't... No, because the radio would have still been on because I just had my... I was talking to Kath on the phone, so...
You finished it. It was like I see a bad moon horizon. And you just like
That is not what I would have liked to have heard after the crash.
it could have been it. I'm superstitious. Like I feel like whenever it plays in the car, because I like a few of their songs,
You know there's
I'm
gonna be a
always
crash.
so conscious.
I don't have anything... I don't think there's any band that makes me suspicious.